situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Jets. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms. But I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover or takeaway, a key sack on 3rd down, a 3-and-out. Something lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. This defense for the Jets, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They'll go for it. It's Brady. And he'll find Pittman. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. First and 10, it's Pierce. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15.
Let's go. No, 66. Check.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. George Kittle, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Fields it right around the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30.
Now Hall to start the drive.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stopped that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
80 weapons, 80 weapons. Ready.
Now Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Alpha.
4th down. Here's Wilson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And that will force a turnover on downs.
Give left side for Pierce.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
Going forward with Pierce.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown.
Dameon Pierce, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other. Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
There's Wilson. And he'll find Hall.
And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Slot man moves right. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And this is incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Charlie.
the gun, here's Wilson. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll run with Hall. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
I said it, let's go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Jets. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over. This game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
You know, are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
Regular.
First down, they go right back to Pierce. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Hey, go 66. Out.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
Hey, 66. 53, win now. 72.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. And some room to maneuver. This was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark.
That's to Davis. He's got it. Touchdown, New York. Corey Davis with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Jets are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. PAT up and good by Rosas. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Brady. And he's got some space here. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Play action. Now it's Brady.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw pulled in by Kittle. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Working with a 2nd and 3. Now Brady. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Christian Watson, 35 yards. And the Colts have taken the lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. But right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know.
He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up. The Jets at 8-2 on the year. And they come in as a team that looks like a well-oiled machine getting ready for the postseason. Winners of 8 of their last 10.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here we go.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again is Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks. He seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On third down, Wilson. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
And he's got a man, Corey Davis.
And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Again, Wilson. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin.
Second and 10.
Go.
Throwing is Wilson. And he slings one that's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Squeeze, get in there. Go.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They're going on 4th down. That's Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. And when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You called that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
On play action, it's Brady. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Christian Watson
on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Base don't travel. Base don't travel.
Now Wilson. That is caught. It's Uzama. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Charlie.
There's Wilson to throw. Uncorks one for Davis.
And intercepted. Wilson's third of the game. Derek Stingley picks it. And the Colts are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. On play action, now Brady.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Now a play fake, Brady. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown.
Patterson now for the extra point.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes the score Colts 42, Jets 14. Rigoberto Sanchez, the kickoff for Indianapolis.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go. Set.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
And the slot man goes in motion left. A final shot before break. Wilson.
And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what the freshest few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line,
and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They fake the handoff. Now Brady completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Christian Watson, 23 yards for the touchdown. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Zoom, fellas, let's go! Bravo!
On 3rd down, here's Hall. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. 4th down, here's Wilson. Open man here is Conklin. And he is going to have the Jets first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They'll send a receiver in motion left. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. To about the 35, 2nd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Delta.
Here's Wilson. He gets it underneath to Hall. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the option, here's Wilson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That will have them to disrupt the play.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Colts are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
72.
From the 40 now on second down. Brady again to the big tight end, George Kittle. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
50.
Brady now on first down. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Brady to throw again. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Michael Pittman, 46 yards. And the Colts are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Here we go.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You're out.
Ball again on second down. And once again, this Colts defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. The Jets on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 14.
66. Bullet hard. Alpha.
To throw is Wilson. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Brady now to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, big here in the fourth quarter. Really big. That pass and incompletion. I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Go Bandit. Regular.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, I get a lot out of these guys. Block and catch.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Christian Watson
From 17 yards out. And the Colts add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Come on, set.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but with self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation.
On second down, a run with Hall. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts' 40-yard line. They'll go again with Hall. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have in third down conversion. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. Room here to run. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Rosas good with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And wait a minute, did the Jets get it? They did. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are two very tough things to do.
It takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs them. The kicking team gets the football here. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Ball again on second down. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Let's go now, let's go now.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll give to Hall. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Here we go. Set. Echo.
Here we go. It's Wilson on fourth down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Let's go, let's go.
Throwing down, Wilson on first down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the Colts force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10.
Hey, both 66. 72.
Brady going to throw here. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
The defense, they weren't fooled on that post route. They just couldn't make the play.
And the offense definitely tried to fool them because you saw the other route combinations, didn't you? Anything that they were running trying to draw attention away from the deep part of the field, but still had it covered, yet they were able to come up with a nice play.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Into the red zone, it's Brady. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. To try again after the sack. Brady. That is caught. Michael Pittman with it. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%, but it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Ball again on second down.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles, these defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So for the Colts, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.